Taping? Alright. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do the in-cab inspection. This is going to be starting off from whenever the examiner is walking up after the 5x5, so he's been walking up on the passenger side of the vehicle. What you're going to do first is you're going to turn your key to the off position, turn your lights off, and you're going to open your door until the screen on your dash goes black. Open the door till the screen goes black. Alright, screen has gone black. Alright, Mr. Examiner, now I'm going to conduct the in-cab inspection. We're going to start off with my seat belt. My seat belt is properly mounted and secured. It's not ripped, torn, or frayed. It adjusts and latches properly. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about the safety equipment. I have a fully charged fire extinguisher back by my seat. I have my 3 reflective triangles underneath the bunk. I have my spare electrical fuses up in the glove box. Next, we're going to go ahead and do a safe start. So we're going to make sure my vehicle's in neutral. I'm going to put my code in, which is 5113 pound. I'm going to turn the key to the on position. I'm going to watch for my ABS lights to come on and go off, indicating that the ABS is working properly. And now I'm going to go ahead and start the truck. As soon as I start the truck, I'm going to push my tractor, my trailer protection valves in. That's going to help prepare you for the air brake test. So first, we're going to talk about my oil pressure. My oil pressure is rising the normal operating range. My voltmeter is charging between 13 and 14 volts. At that time, once you hit the right button, it's going to show up on the steering wheel display that shows your digital speed. Next, we're going to talk about my air pressure. My air pressure is rising to the governor cutout between 120 and 140 psi. Next, we're going to talk about my water temperature. My water temperature is rising the normal operating range. Let's go and talk about the indicators. I have my left turn signal indicator. I have my right turn signal indicator. I have my high beam indicator, and I have my forward flashing indicators. I have my city horn. I have my air horn. Next, we're going to go into the windshield and mirrors. My windshield is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no obstructions. My mirrors are adjusted to me. Next, we're going to go into the windshield wipers. We're going to hit the windshield wiper button over here on the side. To examiner, my windshield wipers are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They operate smoothly. My wiper blades are not cracked or dry rotted. Next, we're going to go into the heat and defrost. So we're going to crank it over to the heat and defrost. We're going to crank it all the way over to heat, crank the fan all the way up. Mr. Examiner, my defrost is working properly, and my heater is working properly. Turn that off. Burn myself out of here. So now that we've done that, right now we have to wait until my governor cutout reaches 120 to 140 psi before we can proceed. So by this time, if it's not up to there, go ahead and hit the accelerator. Just do not go above 1500 RPM. And we're going to wait until our air dryer goes off. There's the air dryer. We're at 120 to 140 psi. That's when you make sure that you can do, that's what it needs to be at with your valves pushed in before you can start the air brake test. So now, Mr. Examiner, I'm going to start my air brake test. I'm going to turn my vehicle off. I'm going to turn the key back to the on position. And now I'm going to conduct my 3-stage air brake test. My first stage, I'm going to fully depress my brake. I'm going to wait for my gauges to stabilize. I should not lose more than 4 psi in 1 minute while listening for air leaks. Push it all the way to the floor. Roll the window down as low as I can hear air leaks. Mr. Examiner, my gauges have stabilized. Will you please time me? So you're going to hold it down for 1 minute. You're going to make sure you don't lose more than 4 psi in 1 minute. If you lose more than 4 psi in 1 minute, that's fine. You don't fail. You just have to be able to identify it. And we'll go ahead and call that 1 minute. Mr. Examiner, I did not lose more than 4 psi in 1 minute while listening for air leaks. Next, we're going to go into the second stage air brake test. I'm going to pump down on my brakes until my warning light and buzzer come on at or before 60 psi. Mr. Examiner, both my warning light and buzzer came on at or before 60 psi. Now I'm going to continue into the third stage air brake test. I'm going to continue to pump the brakes until the tractor and trailer protection valves pop out in between 40 and 20 psi. Mr. Examiner, both my tractor and trailer protection valve popped out in between 40 and 20 psi. At this time, we're going to go and start the truck back up, and that would stop the verbatim side of the air brake test. The rest of it isn't verbatim, you just have to show that you can do a parking brake check. So at this time, we're going to hit the back button. We're going to hit the little square button over here on the right side. Hold the up button. It's the engine idle adjust. Hold it up. That way I can go ahead and remove the chock. And while I'm doing that, it's going to be raising the air pressure. Turn the vehicle to the right. Turn it to the right again. Straighten my wheels. I'm going to go ahead and pull my chock. This one we really only have to raise it up to 100 psi. Alright, there we go, Mr. Examiner. Now we can conduct the parking brake check. First we're going to go ahead and test the trailer. I'm going to push my tractor valve in, rotate the drive, and we'll give a slight tug on my trailer. Mr. Examiner, my trailer held. Now I'm going to go ahead and test the tractor. I'm going to pull the tractor brake. I'm going to push in the trailer, and I'm going to give a slight tug on the tractor. Mr. Examiner, the tractor held. Now I'm going to push both valves in. I'm going to pull forward to at least 5 miles an hour. I'm going to apply the brake, and I should not move to the left or to the right. When you do that, get on it hard. Mr. Examiner, I did not pull to the left or to the right. That time you pull your brakes, rotate to neutral, turn your vehicle off. Mr. Examiner, this concludes my in-cab inspection. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you've always wanted to get your CDL but not knowing how to do it, I want you to go ahead and go to driveforprime.com. I'm a CDL instructor, and if you end up wanting to have me as your CDL instructor, go ahead and put my driver code on your application, and when you come in, we'll see if you can end up getting a link to me. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and ring that bell in that upper right-hand corner. That way that you'll end up knowing when I have new content coming out. Until then, drive safe.